Hi there, everyone. My name is Lauren Salter. I want to welcome you all to the 2022 Spring Updates webinar. We know it's a very busy spring, but we wanted to share some awesome information with you on things that are up and coming this spring so everybody feels prepared and excited about what's to come. So a little bit about what we're going to cover today. So we will get into the nitty-gritty of some reporting, go over just what you can expect to be coming your way for spring. Second, we'll go over our senior recognition. Third, we'll go over our polar participation options for those of you that may not have been able to take part in the polar plunge. And then we will wrap up with some spread the word information and tell you everything you need to know about executing your spread the word campaign this spring and how Special Olympics Pennsylvania will be there to support you the whole way. So let's get down to it. Let's talk a little bit of all things reporting. So every year we ask that each of our Unified Champion schools complete 3 reports. And those were 3 reports that are listed here: the mid-year that comes in January, the UMass survey in April, and our end of year survey that comes your way in May. So we want to touch on this because the UMass survey and end of year survey are often confused for one another. So we want to ensure that each of them is different, although they contain a lot of the same type of questions. But it is vitally important that you complete each of these reports. One of the things that's often confused in the UMass survey is if you receive that survey, one of the first questions it will ask is, are you a Unified Champion school? The answer to that is yes. If you are receiving this report, you are a Unified Champion school, okay? The end of year report will come directly from Special Olympics Pennsylvania via your liaison and will be in a Google form format similar to the mid-year survey that we had sent out in January. Thank you to everybody that completed that mid-year survey so we can brag on all the awesome things that our schools are doing. So why is it important that we ask you all to complete these surveys? The reports are important. One, it gives us some feedback on how we can assist you if there's struggles that you're having. 2, it allows us to brag on the awesome things that you are doing and then reach out to some folks and say, hey, let's share some ideas. But most importantly, it is to assist us in justifying the monies that we are providing to keep Unified Champion schools running across the state. It is not a cheap program to run, but we love every single part of it. So how we do that is through numerous fundraising and grant sources. So if you can just do that for us in reporting the fantastic things you're doing, working with your clubs and the students in those clubs to track out what are the whole school engagement activities that you're doing, how many folks are being impacted by that, what were the positive outcomes, right? Those are things that we're looking for. Who's leading those activities? Those are the common questions that you're going to find in those reports. If you have any questions on those reports, I'm going to say this a couple times throughout the presentation, but if you ever have any questions, please go to your Special Olympics Pennsylvania liaison so they can assist you and get you answers. Never feel like you have to guess at something. That's why we're here. We're here to help. Next thing we want to talk about is celebrating our awesome graduating seniors. Now, we've done this for a couple of years, and we generally do our senior recognition and end of year celebration in mid-May, and we are looking to do that again this year. So we are asking for your help by providing your graduating seniors info via a Google link. And this is a link that you'll see here below. It's hyperlinked to the slides that you'll receive. That parents or teachers can complete. These participants don't have to be on the Unified Sports team. These could be participants that are just club members. They can be sport team members, or they can be both. So we want to make sure that we are able to recognize those graduating seniors that have participated in any or all of our unified activities that are provided within the schools. Now, last year we did a virtual celebration. Again, this year it will be a virtual celebration with our DJ from Fireside Events, who did a wonderful job last year. And we want to highlight our seniors and all that they've accomplished in their years in high school, and then highlight some of the awesome things that our schools have done throughout the year. The celebration is really cool. You're able to text into that and let the DJ know he can do some shout outs and send pictures, and we can really highlight all the amazing things that we've been doing and the fun and excitement that's been generated this whole past year. Our next topic today is just going over, as a reminder, the options that you have for participating in a polar plunge activity that's happening, okay? So first and foremost, did you take part in one of the many polar plunges across the state? If yes, that's awesome, fantastic. We love that you did that. If the answer is no, that's still okay. What we want to do with this is say, you still have options available to you, and we certainly want to help you jump in, get involved, be a part of the fun that's happening. Those two options that we have are a polar pop and a rain rally. So on this slide, you'll see that I have hyperlinked the registration to each of those options. So you can choose to do these. Polar pop is generally done in the time of March. So that's coming right up on us. That's a great time to do it. Get some really fun like petty wars or some good competitive nature between your sports teams to raise some money and then pop some balloons and generate some funds for your school. Rain Rally is another option that's available. Our special events team will work directly with the schools that are interested in that to make it happen. We'll work with the fire department. They bring out a fire truck. They spritz the water out of the fire truck, and the students are able to run through that stream of water and just really have a blast with that. Like I said, these are both hyperlinked on here as options. If you have any questions, you're able to connect with your SOPA liaison to register, get started, be a part of the fun, like I said. So all the monies that are raised through these polar plunges, pops, and rain rallies come back into Special Olympics, into a Unified Champions Schools bucket to help us fund all the programming that we have happening in our 266 schools across the state. So jump on in, have some fun with it. Certainly let your students kind of take the lead on how they really want to do it. So next is our primary focus. We've gone through some reminders and some quick updates, but the primary focus really on this webinar is to talk to you a little bit about the Spread the Word Inclusion campaign, and then just give you some information on how to execute it, what Special Olympics is going to do to support you. So this year's theme, they've started with themes. This year's theme is Champions of Change. So what is Spread the Word? So for all of our returning schools that are experts, you guys know what Spread the Word is. For our new schools, you may have heard your liaison say, yeah, in the spring now we're going to do the Spread the Word campaign. And we don't want your heads to spin. I don't want it to spin seeing this slide. But what Spread the Word is a global campaign for inclusion, of promoting inclusion and promoting change and unity and kindness. And it's really enveloped in the schools of showing their entire student body of how do they include people. In this year of how are those students champions of change? So some of the words that kind of come to mind when we're talking about Spread the Word inclusion, we're talking about spreading the words for change and unity and giving voices to people and ending exclusion and respect. You may have formerly known this campaign as Spread the Word to End the Word. So after about 10 years, they have shifted into this new campaign, Spread the Word Inclusion, with the same goal of promoting inclusion for all individuals. And we really focus on this as one of our mandatory whole school engagements in our schools. to allow the students in our clubs to really promote inclusion in their way in their school. So with Spread the Word, there is a pledge. One of our global sponsors is ESPN, and the pledge for Spread the Word is, I pledge to look out for the lonely, the isolated, the left out, the challenged and bullied. I pledge to overcome the fear of difference and replace it with the power of inclusion. I choose to include. So it's a really powerful pledge that we're asking these students to take. We'll talk a little bit about the materials that you'll receive later on from us that will help you in going through and executing the campaign. But one of those is a banner that we say, if you sign this banner, you're taking the pledge for exactly this, that you are choosing to include and choosing to include every student, each and every student within that building. So with Spread the Word, we don't want this to be another to-do or checklist item. We know that you as teachers have a lot of things on your plate. So engage your students. What we really want you to do is activate those clubs, give the students the power, right? Let the students lead, let them be creative, determine how and what they want to execute for their campaign. There's a million different ways to execute a Spread the Word campaign. We'll show you some examples in some upcoming slides, but they should really be working to figure out, once they figure out what, then it's the how. What steps do they need to take to make that Spread the Word campaign happen? Then they should assign their roles within their club members, let everybody have a piece of the pie there in what they're going to do to make that happen. And then ultimately they're going to execute it. So in here you see one of our really awesome schools with their Spread the Word t-shirts, and they had divvied up all the roles and gone about what they wanted to do to include every student in that building in some way. As promised, here's a few examples of the different types of Spread the Word. So you see STW, a few places, stands for Spread the Word. So we definitely encourage you to go beyond the traditional set up a table during lunch. It's one way to do it, but want you to get creative in thinking beyond just that. Holding a respect week, doing some themes throughout the week, tie it to an anti-bullying week. You can have club members talk to different homerooms. You can hold a pep rally for your unified team. You can create a video to be shown in the school. Maybe it's part of the announcements. The possibilities are really, really endless. And in the corner here, you're going to see our Special Olympics pro tip is this should be the goal of the students, okay? Not use the advisor. Please encourage them to take on the responsibilities. So as they are working through the how and the what is the role of you as that club advisor, right? Because you're going to want to jump in, you're going to want to help. Your role really is to support them, to offer direction, provide resources. There are two really awesome resources that I'm going to click on just to show you here in a second. But you want to be ensuring that all your students have a say. You want to assist in ordering any extras. And then you want to report the awesomeness that your club is going to have in executing this. Okay. So one of the awesome resources that we have is called Spread the Word Global. And this is your everything you need to know. It's got toolkits and educator toolkits and Dropbox resources, messaging toolkits, graphics. You really can go wild on this. Now, the one thing you won't need, you can, but you won't need, is that we already have a store established that is specific from Pennsylvania. The other really great website I wanted to share with you is called Generation Unified. This is a wonderful website, not just for Spread the Word. So we're getting ready for Spread the Word. The official Spread the Word day is May 4th, or March 4th, excuse me. You don't have to execute by March 4th. You can really do it whenever you want. But this Generation Unified is a fantastic resource going into all the different stories that they have, videos and games, their classroom really goes into how do you really go through executing teamwork and connections. They have all these mini lessons here for you. One specific right here is for spread the word. So you'll come into all these digital drop boxes that you can pull all these materials from. So your students have all this right at their fingertips. They really can go wild. Again, your job as supporting them as that their advisor is to maybe rein them in, just make sure they're realistic. Let them go wild, but make sure that their goals and aspirations are realistic so they can truly execute it at a very high level. So I had mentioned it earlier that Special Olympics Pennsylvania will be providing some materials, and that we have our own store set up for you. So you want to know where all these awesome supplies come from? Well, every Unified Champion school, if you're watching this webinar, your Unified Champion school will be provided with a spread the word kit valued at $150. Now, these kits have a number of different items in it. The one thing that they definitely have, everyone is going to have, you'll see it right here, is a spread the word inclusion banner. Okay, so those banners will be included in there. There'll be an assortment of a couple sizes, t-shirts, stickers, wristbands, water bottles, a whole slew of things. Each kit is, like I said, valued at $150. They might be slightly different from one school to the next, but they will all have the banners and all those items in it. Those kits are being sent directly to the schools, and they will be arriving here shortly. If you are a returning school, you'll remember that in the past, we had provided codes for you to enter into the store, and then your stuff would come. So we are not doing that this year. There are no codes. I repeat, 0 codes to import into the website. These kits will come directly to you, 100%. But if you find that you would like some more items than what may be provided in these kits, then you can easily buy some more supplies through our AmPro Spread the Word supply store. Again, no code needed, but all of the extras ordered will be at the school's own cost. We'll provide that kit of $150. Beyond that is going to be on the school. But I want to take you through the website real quick, just so you can have a peek at what that store looks like. So you be able to see the different items that we have. We've got masks, and we've got more kits in here, different things, sanitizers, the whole shebang of different things that you're able to get. So if I click on any item, you are able to design your own t-shirt as well. The only thing that we ask when you design your own t-shirt is that you send us a proof of what you are proposing for your design, so we can just approve it real quick. Okay. So I'm going to add these really fun stickers to my cart. Everybody loves stickers. Okay, I'm gonna go to my cart. All right, that looks good. I'm gonna put in there I want just one sticker. And then I will check out. Now it's gonna go put you through all of this checkout process here. It's going to ask for your billing information, like I said. So anything extra is going to be provided through this part, through the schools, okay? Okay, yep, this is my billing information too. No, it's not a PO box. Remember to click all of the little tiny boxes here. Okay, I'm gonna make it easy. I'm gonna ship it to my same billing address. And darn it, we had an error occur. We're going to use what I entered. Okay, here we go. So we would go through all of this. You're going to get to the checkout area. You'll just plug in your information as you would any other order online. Like I said, you do not have to enter a code. There is no code to enter. And then you will just hit submit, and those supplies will be shipped directly to your school or wherever you want them shipped. So as I mentioned, you can go ahead and order a customized design t-shirt. So here's an example of one shirt that a school in the past had designed. We just want to approve those just to make sure our branding is good to go. Part of our spread the word is that we really, really, really love seeing the awesomeness of what the students come up with, how creative they get, and what they're doing with their campaigns. So again, this year, we want to offer a video contest. So what we're asking you to do with this is create a video on inclusion in your school. You should put that video up on YouTube or any other public channel, and you will submit that via the reporting link that's provided by your liaison. So it's a Google submission. It came in the email that you had to click on to open this webinar. You'll put that in that link. The deadline for all the submissions is April 15th, okay? So you can conduct your spread the word beyond that. We all know that once May hits, the year disappears very quickly. So April 15th, we'll go ahead and review. After that, we'll review all the submissions, and then we will provide the winner or winners with $100 for a year-end party, which tends to be a pizza party for some folks, but we will provide $100 for you to celebrate the awesomeness that you have done with your Spread the Word campaign. So after you conduct that campaign, after you do your spread the word, after you do your video, if you want to submit a video, you don't have to, but you can submit that video. We want you to go ahead and debrief with your group on your event. How did it go? Did it go well? How can it be improved for next year? And then how do you get more people involved? If you're a part of our youth summits, we really talk about how do we involve other organizations within the school? Can you team up with another club, student council, best buddies, what have you, to really execute this at a really high level? Did your student leaders develop, and then have your student leaders develop a summary of how many people were exposed, who was exposed, how did you execute that event? And then report that in your spread the word report. Okay. Again, that's also where you can submit your video. If you have a video to submit, we are submitting a link. So you're not uploading the video into the Google form. You will drop in the video link that you've created. So what do you do if you need help? I've said it a couple times already, but you want to reach out to your liaison. And your liaison, if you're not sure who exactly that is, that's who sent you this link. That's who sent you the email that has everything laid out for your Spread the Word campaign and how you were able to get this presentation here. We are here to help. Please don't think you have to guess. Please don't think any question is not okay to ask for the Spread the Word campaign. We want to be here to help you, support you, give you guidance, give you resources, whatever you may have. So if you have any questions, concerns, or just awesome things that you want to share with us, please share that with your liaison so we can help you guys out. So if you have questions or concerns, besides going to your liaisons, we will also host on March 7th, a spring programming question and answer session. So I will be on here all Monday, March 7th, to just answer any questions. It'll be a semi-informal type of conversation, but this is a time that you can jump on and ask any questions that you might have, so you can go and conquer on anything that's coming up this spring. The link to that registration is actually included right onto this slide. So it is a pre-registration. So if you can go ahead and do that, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this presentation, watch this presentation. We hope that you have an awesome, awesome spring. You know, that bocce's wrapping up, you know, that track is about to get off the ground. We're so excited to have all these things happen in person. And we know that plunges and pops and rallies and spread the words are all things that are just going to really amp up all the great things that are happening within your school. So keep up the awesome work. We look forward to continuing to work with you. Have a great day.